It's good to be back. Sun is beaming away again this morning. It's quite phenomenally beautiful for this time of year. We're into December and it's just so good to see it still mild and the sun to keep our spirits up so powerfully. It's almost a year since we arrived since the sun shifted into the age of Aquarius. And it's been a very, very, very interesting year for me, observing as I come more and more into the role of observer rather than being emotionally attached to the drama of this world. There's so much change going on for the better, for the freeing up of humanity. There's so much work going on in so many areas. I've been observing people. It's quite beautiful. On the other side, the conflictual side, it's absolutely full blast, and that is exactly and precisely what needed to happen. This is the experience that people have needed to have in order to awaken. It may sound strange, but that's exactly what is required. When in a bed of roses, the soul is not being challenged in order to come fully into your greatness. You will be challenged. It is all about experience. Now, what I have noticed on one side is people aren't really getting the grasp of, not people, but some are not really getting the grasp of how powerful your energy is. That it's all about shifting your energy internally to remove all blockages internally. All blocks that stop you coming fully into your heart center and to be operating fully from your pure loving self. And when you arrive at your pure loving self and have an awareness of the bigger picture of really what is truly going on in a universal awareness sense, then the gratitude is quite phenomenal. It brings all your senses into a very heightened state. When your senses are in a very heightened state, you're hearing the most beautiful sounds. The food you are eating or drinking or consuming tastes so much more exquisite. The magical kingdom you see outside in this world, when you go into nature or you look at a mountain or you walk by the sea, when your senses are all so heightened, when you feel the ground underneath your feet, when you feel the sand underneath your feet, when you hear the rustle of pebbles or the sound of the ocean lapping off the shore, or when you're highly sensitively tuned into your loving heart, you hear all those little birds, and those little birds start interacting with you. I usually chirp back to the little birds. I try as best as I can to mimic the sound they are making, or the number of times they will cheep or chirp. So say for example, a bird chirps 3 times in succession. I will chirp back 3 times. It'll chirp twice. I will chirp back twice. And this carries on. Then when I start to do it, the bird will do exactly the same. The amount of times I do it, the bird will chirp back the same amount of times. So it's just coming back to the magic, re-establishing the magic within. Now, I've noticed on the internet that a lot of people are coming into awareness in all areas right across the board, but there's also an incredible amount of deludedness regarding UFOs, galaxy, all this sort of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff going on out there. So you have to be really discerning. Now, on the ground outside, in everyday life, it has to be said, I don't spend a lot of time around humans. Simply because the majority of people I would know or in an area are still too busy talking to learn. They're still too busy tied up in the past. They're tied up with the system. They're tied up with the schooling. They're tied up with the church. They're tied up with so much yet that they are not in full awareness. Now, what I have to say, I'm assuming the majority of people who see my videos are already in awareness of reincarnation and karma, etc. But until you come back into awareness of reincarnation, the return of the soul into this cycle of being, until you resurrect your soul into its highest perfected godliness within, till you understand the universe of I. Because once upon a time in Christianity, reincarnation was indeed understood. Then it was removed at a certain point. In order to control people. If you cut people off from the source, then it's easy to control them by stepping in the middle. You know, religion steps between you and this heavenly realm. So you have to really step back into yourself. Now, if you just believed that you had one lifetime, then yes, of course, that allows for those of a very unscrupulous nature to do whatever hell they want to do, because there's no consequence for it. You know, do whatever I want to do. You know, you only have one life, make the most of it, and that is very often done in a very selfish way. Excuse me, I must rub my nose again. It's the sun on my eyes, setting my sinuses off. There, that little sniff again, you know, it's kind of a bit of a signature tune these days. Between that and my mention of the button or the cursor. Anyhow, where was I? Yes, until you start to see or recognize that there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger story going on here. You are on a journey. That journey is to resurrect your soul, not anyone else's soul. Who you can help along the way is wonderful, and always present yourself to be of service when someone needs your assistance. But you're here to resurrect your soul. You're not here to die for someone else. You're not here to give up your life for someone else. Many of this kind of nonsense that you have been led to believe. What would be the point of that? You would go to the other side, see your Akashic record, see the foolishness of that, and have to come back again and start off again and meet that point again to overcome the flaw in the theory. Now, what came to my mind this morning was, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he has a video on YouTube. Um, I will actually put either a link or his name afterwards when I post this to YouTube. I can't remember his name offhand, but it was regarding his life and reincarnation. And he got to see in an elevated sense, he was able to see his Akashic record. And he was able to see that for 50 lifetimes, him and another man whom he was having conflict with in this life had spent 50 entire lifetimes taking turnabout, killing each other. Then when they came back, one would kill the other, and then the next time it would be the other way around. 50 entire lifetimes to eventually be able, the pair of them, to have seen it, to sit down, to break that cycle of resentment, of revenge, of all these lower emotions in the field of drama that prevent us coming fully into our heart and being the observer, being non-attached to it all. You will be challenged every day. I mean, of course we're challenged every day because the world hasn't changed fully for the better yet. That's going to take time. But ultimately it is an inward journey for everyone. You can't patch up what's wrong outside. You can only change what needs to be resurrected inside yourself to come into your pure divinity. And then that has a ripple effect because that energy is so powerful. If you only knew the power of your energy vibration to change everything. I mean, if I stood in somebody's company and I just never spoke and just poured the greatest outpouring of love to them, that would absolutely and utterly change the way they are thinking. It would uplift and change their emotional state at that time. We must come into awareness of how powerful our energy is. It's been used to a negative effect for so long. We've seen the absolute destruction on this earth plane of the power of energy being used as a force against us and against each other. Because we are all playing a part, make no mistake. There is nothing to forgive. There's simply to let go. It is an experience we all must have in order to awaken. Without the painful experiences, without the struggle, without the suppression, without the imprisonment, without all of these things, how would our souls be challenged to break free? We must break free inwardly. To feel love is the most precious feeling you can ever feel. And I don't mean love for someone else, because that is an insecure love. That is a transient love. That depends very much on the other person as well. But to actually come to become a state of love as a beingness, as an absolutely vibrating, pulsating energy force field of beautiful rainbow streaming energy. I wish for everyone sooner rather than later to come home to their divinity, to have slain all the negative emotions within self, all the fears, all the insecurities, to bust that illusion within yourself first. Only then can you see the full picture. Oh, to feel the love streaming through that sun. When you come in fully into your heart center, to absolutely feel the life force that pours through that sun to us is phenomenal. The souls and the entities beyond that sun that project on that loving vibration, so much more powerful than we would ever know here in this realm. It's phenomenal. Come into alignment with it. The only way you can come into alignment with it is to come into alignment with yourself. Becoming the rainbow chakra, the bottom two, the base and the sacral. This is where all the emotional drama and 3D reality is lived out and prevents you connecting fully with your heart, your pineal gland, your universality, your connection to the great universe. When you're done with the nonsense, when you're done with the competition, when you're done with the jealousy, when you're done with the greed, when you're done with the earthliness, when you're done with the greed, selfishness, physical importance, it's nonsense. It doesn't exist in the universe. It's here we've created this, what turned into an absolute nightmare. But it had to be that way in order for the sleeping masses in the middle to wake up. Those who were coming from the darkest sense knew exactly what they were doing. Those coming from the lightest sense knew exactly where they're at. But it was the mass of people in between who were just sitting. I'm all right, Jack, sod the rest of the world. So this needed to be burst open, you know. So we create this all, you know. This is the importance of having to step into the role of observer, because when you're playing that role, whether you're a victim, whether you're a bully, whether you're sitting on the fence playing both sides, whether you're the intimidator or interrogator, it's all an exchange of energy in the wrong sense of the word. Now, I'll tell everyone why you shouldn't be angry with all that's wrong in this world. Because the moment you are angry or resentful towards it, you are empowering it. You are sending it a force of energy that feeds it and draws that experience even closer to yourself. It really is that simple, my friends. We really must understand the subtle energy fields. It's quite incredible. When you step away from being resentful, when you step away from being angry, when you've learned from the experience and you've the bigger picture of the universe and you know there's an army of souls assisting you from the other side, then you've moved into another position. You've moved into one that's observing all that's going on in the world of drama without actually participating. I mean, you have to participate to a certain extent on a daily basis with, you know, just survival, you know, having car, you know, the things that get us by in this world. But as long as we treat it as just that, having somewhere to live, having the comfort of being able to go on the internet to exchange with others, to express. For me, it's been phenomenal to be able to express something of what I've learned in this world. So the world of the internet has been phenomenal for me, and YouTube, and I thank you. Facebook, I thank you. All these mediums where we're able to express and assist each other, I'm ever so grateful for, because when I had so much wisdom and knowledge and I had no way of being able to express it, it was a very difficult time for me. I wrote a lot of stuff down, but then technology being what technology is, and bang, it was gone. All those years of writing was gone because I accidentally wiped my my external drive, or all my documentation on my computer, not realizing I was wiping it off, all the external as well. Now that doesn't bother me either, because now I write on Facebook and I express myself on here. Now I wish everyone to come into an understanding of how mighty and multi-dimensional beings we are, what miraculous beings we are. Bodies of information. And the more we use that information to the power of positive and goodness, the more magnified we become, the more expanded our energy field is, the more expanded our aura is. And the more amazing love surges right through that sun to us and through us, right back out to anywhere it's needed. And at this time, I have a very, very, very beautiful friend. Again, someone whom my soul had an awareness when I met her. She was an elderly lady, is an elderly lady. But when we met, and it was through tragic circumstances, the death of her son, who was a friend of mine, we had a soul connection so powerful. That unitedness was, whoa, I know you. Now we have to come into awareness of this. When you feel that, this is somebody from your soul group. I mean, this is an elderly black lady in this lifetime, and I was much younger, white woman. But we knew each other. Our souls knew each other, know each other. Well, now I am sending her the most phenomenal love, and I'm asking the universe to send her all the love in the world to my beloved sister, who is absolutely being attacked by that horrendous man-made disease, cancer. So I will give her family all the information I can, and I will be of as much assistance as I can for my beloved, beautiful, 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 precious sister and soul group member. Remember, when you have this amazing connection with someone, it might be of the same sex, it might be of the opposite sex, it's nothing to do with age, colour, creed, anything. But when your soul absolutely reaches out and absolutely and utterly embraces the soul of another without you having any input at all, your soul doing all the work, then you know at that point, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is someone you know. This is someone you've had past journeys with. So the importance of understanding reincarnation. Otherwise, if we don't come to the realization of reincarnation and the meeting of souls again and the tying up of loose ends and the assisting each other in many lifetimes, many can become lost and embittered, because when they believe there is only one life, then they see or what they were led to believe is a very wrathful God up there who's dishing out this unfairness across the world. I mean, it's nonsense. It's a myth. It's a myth. Dispel it, crush it. Become godliness. Realize at every lifetime that everyone is on their journey for how many lifetimes are on this earth plane. Don't be too concerned about what's going on with someone else. That's their journey. What you must and what you need to be concerned with is your journey and the connections you need to make. I'm going to leave you with that for now, sending all my love to my beloved soul sister who is struggling at this time. Look after my beautiful sister. Take care of her. Surround her in love. And dear connected universe via the sun, project my love onto her as well. Surround her in my love. Let her know she is safe. Let her know she is loved. Absolutely. Let her know how precious she is. Let her have this full awareness. She has anyway. She is a very powerful, or is a very powerful psychic lady. I remember doing a healing on her when I went to visit her, and she started talking to me, and I thought, you know, normally if I was doing a healing or a channeling session on someone, they would go off sometimes to sleep, or they'd go to another level sort of, and they're taking other information in subconsciously. She was talking, so I had a peek around at her face, and her eyes were closed. She was in trance. And her voice absolutely changed. It was like a different voice, very authoritative, telling me that her son was here, that her son was in the room, and that he said to say hello to me. Now, her son in this lifetime, we had more arguments years ago over God, or what God is or means. Oh dear, the wars that were fought over that one. Well, me and Maurice had a few wars over it as well. Now, what he did say, God rest your precious soul, Maurice. He said, I don't believe in God, but I believe in you. What can I say? If you're practicing godliness, isn't it the same thing? It's all just perception and perspective. Anyway, so he got to obviously realize when he arrived on the other side that that wasn't just it. You go into the ground and it's over and done with, because when she went into trance, he was there, letting her know he was guiding her, guarding her, watching over her. Now, how good is that? Anyway, I must go for now. And again, because the sun is kind of blinding me, I haven't got a clue where the cursor is. Oh no. Namaste, my beautiful friends. Have the most wonderful time between now. I don't know when I'll be back on again between now and the 21st of December and the 25th of December, because that is when the sun is reborn again into another year, which will be the second year coming up in the new galactic cycle. So if I'm not back before then, have the most amazing time. I love you all. Please love yourself, and please love each other, and please project the most beautiful energy every day toward whomever you're going to meet before you meet them, and then you will have the best outcome possible in any circumstance. Thank you very much. Namaste. Have I done it again? Oh, you dirty little cursor, come back. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here I go again. This is tragic. There it is. I hope you had a little chuckle there, Syndicate. Bye for now.